we're just about ready to board the ferry. And we reserved it a couple weeks ago because it's impossible to get on these ferries. Heading over to see the girls.
My name is Ray Gauthier, and I am the father of Chelsey Gautheir, who lost her life tragically by the hands of a very disturbed individual almost 3 years ago today.
How do you explain to a 2-year-old that her mother is never coming home? Ray Gauthier's daughter Chelsey was murdered. Their last words to each other via text message.
And she said, "I love you," and I said, "I love you too." And that was it.
Unfortunately, I don't really have any information to share with anybody regarding her case about her killer. Is still on the run. Still probably thinks he got away with it, or she got away with it, or whoever they are that did this, because the police have made no arrest. The police continue to tell me that they have an active case, that it's moving forward. But after 3 years of not hearing anything, no information whatsoever, you kind of lose trust in the police system. I don't know why it would take this long. I know the counselor from IHIT, Lovepreet is her name. She's a very sweet girl. She calls me every once in a while to comfort me and reassure me that, you know, that they haven't forgotten about Chelsey. And of course, when a case is unsolved and it's like you don't have the closure, you don't have any kind of closure. Will I have more closure when this individual is arrested? Probably. But right now, it's just like nothing has changed after 3 years. You can't. How do you find closure when that individual is still on the loose? That still probably thinks they got away with it. But that's really not what my focus is on right now. My focus is on sharing how well everyone is doing regarding this, and family, especially her 2 girls, Autumn and Abby. They live with 2 really amazing people, Kristen and Scott, my dear friends, and the kids just seem to be doing so well. They're doing amazing, and Scott and Kristen is a godsend. The girls are just doing so well, and I couldn't be happier right now. I mean, I can only imagine if something would have happened to Chelsey and she was living with her girls. And there's a story behind why the girls weren't living with Chelsey. Chelsey was just going through some difficult times, and she just wasn't mother material at that time. She was still very, very young and still exploring her youth. I guess that's the best way I can put it. And Scott and Kristen stepped up to the plate and realized that those 2 girls needed a good, stable home, and that's what they're giving them right now. And I just am incredibly blessed that we have an opportunity on this 3rd year anniversary, as we remember Chelsey, to go visit the girls, and Scott and Kristen, and see how well they're doing. I think it's been almost a year since I've seen them last. So I'm really looking forward to this visit. And it's nice, actually. This is an opportunity where we're going to have a chance to spend some time together, me and Carrie, and we get to spend time with the girls and Kristen and Scott and their family. So it's it's kind of nice. nice little spot that's overlooking the front of the ferry. Carrie's taking pictures like crazy. This is the new camera that she got. And she's trying it out and testing it out. But yeah, it's beautiful here. Love going through the Gulf Islands like this.
Show me your teeth. Well, what you used to have. Look at that. It's a perfect thing.
It was not all this money. It was not all. Some are from the store on the floor.
Hey,
From the what?
Mama still bring me some of her money.
her butt's down his back, so
But if I walk up to this little chandelier here, you'll see the light.
see the light. Now you can reach. Now you can reach. You see that?
What tribe are you from? What?
Hoverboard.
You want a hoverboard?
I know how to ride it.
Do you remember Mama Chelsey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Mama Chelsey?
In God.
Heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In God.
She's with God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her talking to God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll see her again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will hold her alive again.
It's going to be a long time before you see her. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe not. You never know. Jesus might take everybody soon.
Maybe.
Maybe. And then we all get to see her.
The waterfall. The ocean. Wow.
Oh, Carrie.
I'm 5.
You're 5?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
At January.
January what?
At Friday on January.
You know it's on a Friday?
What?
Did you say Friday?
Yeah.
How do you know it's on a Friday?
Because it's my birthday 2 days on next week.
Do you like being out here on Vancouver Island?
Yeah.
Do you guys get to go to the beach a lot?
Yeah, but I gotta out.
Where?
Somebody hold right here.
Oh, a mosquito?
No, somebody took the knife and cut this.
Oh.
Right there, and the mosquito get a little right there beside my alley.
Oh, okay. And I seen all those dandelions in the front yard. Are all those your flowers?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you pick those?
Yeah, for the bumblebees.
For the bumblebees?
Yeah,
Is that why you leave them there?
I grow them, and I want to grow them because I want bumblebees to be nice to me.
You want, oh, so you're planting all those, you're letting those flowers grow so the bumblebees will like them and then they'll be nice to you.
Yeah. I want to put the headphone down because it's so cute on me. Grade 1.
You're going to go into grade 1?
Yeah.
Yeah? So were you in kindergarten last time?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you like it?
Yeah, because there's cooking class with it. Minecraft.
What?
Minecraft.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
That's what you like about living here?
Yeah.
So what do you like about living around here? Do you like the beach? Yeah?
And I like the trampoline better.
The trampoline? Do you like going to the park?
Yes.
So are you happy? Doing good?
And then after I get bigger,
And you're getting a lot of money for all those teeth.
and after I get bigger, I'm gonna make all the rules, not
You're going to make
them.
all the rules when you're bigger?
Not them.
Do they know that?
No.
Oh, you're going to surprise them?
Sometimes people ask me, why didn't you step up to the plate? Why didn't you be there for Chelsey and her girls? At that particular time, I was on the road. I had a new career, driving the highway. All my kids were living on their own. I guess I really didn't know how bad it was, how bad the situation was with her. I knew she was struggling. I knew I didn't know how bad it was. I hate to say this, but a lot of people in Chelsey's life did not let me know how bad things were. I guess maybe they didn't want to burden me, but I really didn't know how bad it was. I really didn't know. And when Scott and Kristen suggested helping Chelsey, I thought it was, this was awesome because Scott and Kristen are good friends and I could trust them. And at that particular time, I was not in a position to take care of young kids because I would have had to quit my career. And I know family is everything, but when Kristen and Scott offered to do this for me, if they would have not been there for Chelsey, yes, of course, everything would have been different. I would have come off the highway and I would have been there for Chelsey and the girls. But because Scott and Kristen so graciously offered to help her, I really felt it was an answer to prayer and I was able to continue with my career. But if I could change things now, I think I would have done things differently. Maybe Chelsey would still be here today if I did. I don't know.
I've been friends with Ray for quite a while, going back to, about 1991 or so, when we met at broadcasting school. So really, aside from knowing Autumn and Abigail from the crib, I'd known Chelsey from the time she was in a crib. So that connection was long and deep. And so when all these events started happening, here was my friend's daughter that was in some trouble, that was having some issues with some stuff, and we just really felt it upon us to try to help. At first it was really supposed to just be support for Chelsey, and it's like, here, we'll kind of take her under our wing and we'll help her out. But then things weren't getting better, and one thing led to another, and next thing you know, we're watching the girls for a couple weeks, and then a couple weeks became a month, became 3 months, became 6 months, and here we are 5 years later, 6 years later. We tried to have Chelsey as involved with the girls as we could, and we could see small signs of improvement, and we were like, okay, given some time, there's a pretty good chance she can get her act together and she could actually be a good mom to these girls. And then the ugliness happened, and the worst event, the worst case scenario occurred, and she no longer was part of the equation. I mean, I think we were just about as devastated as anybody else, because we could see those little glimmers of hope that she was getting better, and that given more time, we think she would have gotten there, and now that opportunity is not there. Chris did not handle it well. She was an emotional basket case for a while. It hit both of us, but I think maybe from one mom to another, it was a little keener with her. One thing we've said semi-jokingly, but it's kind of true, is we weren't necessarily anticipating becoming full-time parents again heading into our 50s. And, my wife said one time, it's like, as we're having to get up at the 2 o'clock in the mornings because they've had a nightmare or because someone's had a sickie and they've thrown up and whatever else, as we're standing there and we're absolutely on the brink of exhaustion and collapse, we're like, this was so much easier when we were in our 20s. We really think, God was directly at work getting us into this piece of property even, because this is about the best environment that they could have. There are events, far too much to go into, but there are events for both sides of us, and your side of the equation and our side of the equation, that started separately, ended up melding together, and absolutely led up to this moment. So I think he's got his hand all over this, and we're thankful for it every day. We have started by really kind of giving them a bit of a explanation, as much as we can, of who God is and who his son is and why all of those things are, and the significance of our needing our Messiah. We have prayer time every day. Every one of us goes around and we take turns telling at least a couple things that we're thankful for to God, and just praising him and thanking him for all those things. We do our Shabbat every weekend. At least in general, that they know God is there. He's the reason for everything. He is the sustenance of everything. So you can be thankful that you're even there, able to thank him.
Chelsey was family. Scott knew her when she was in diapers. He watched her grow up. This is family, and you don't leave family to swallow it and just fall apart. She needed help. And I appreciate the foster system, but it wasn't for family. You don't let family go into the foster system. I think I surprised Scott with that decision too, because we were pretty much ready to retire from kids. I didn't try and not be attached. Children are innocent, but they feel what you feel. If you're stressed and holding a baby, they fuss. It doesn't matter how old they are. If you're sick and you want to curl up and just kind of comatose, they'll cuddle you. Children are very intuitive. They are very innocent. So we never considered that we didn't have to be attached to these kids, because I'm okay being grandma. I'm Nana. And I'm okay with Chelsey being mom. And I told Chelsey, I said, just don't keep me out of their lives. So I'll be your weekend babysitter. I don't need to be in charge. I can still love them. Scott had already been in your guys' lives for a decade and a half. I mean, big part of his life. It's just family. So I never considered the fact that I would never see the kids again. So I'm allowed to love them. I'm allowed to care for them. When Chelsey took them back, I could still be grandma. It was never an issue. Do you know in the Bible where it says you need to have the faith of a child? We have seen things new. Some funny, some not so funny. But definitely an overwhelming difference in perspective. Abigail found a fly, and the fly was hurt, was missing a wing. And she brought it inside to give it some shade. And I told her, I said, take it to the backyard where it can meet up with the rest of its family, because we're not going to go into the rest of the dark side yet. I come outside 2 minutes later, and she's giving it a boat ride. We believe the best way to keep the Lord in our lives and show these things to the kids that we are having in our home, not just Autumn and Abby, is live the walk. They need to see what God does for us every day. When you see the magnitude of everything that God does for you, you want to stay with him. It's not a burden. It's a joy. It's everything he's promised, and then some. And we are utterly gobsmacked at our we call it good fortune in this world, but really that he has decided to guide us with his own hand. When they are ready, we're going to answer their questions. My biggest fear is that I won't be the one able to tell them. That somebody else in their sphere is going to blurt out something, maybe not the nicest thing to remember about their mom. And that's not what I want them to remember their mom for. They know who Chelsey is because we have kept Chelsey in front of them. We promised Chelsey that she would always be mom. Whatever they called anybody else, you can't take that away from somebody. You can't. It's genetics. So they know who their mom is, no matter what they call me, no matter what they call everybody else. And believe me, it gets scrambled. Sometimes they call each other mom. So when it is time, when each of them show that they're ready to hear the details of what's going on, yeah, we're going to let them know that their mom was young, that she was confused about a lot of things in life, just like they are, because whatever age you're at, you're confused about something. And she made some not good decisions, and she made some good decisions, and the good decisions were to keep you. And when the decision came to put personal wishes to the side and ensure that Autumn and Abby were okay and safe, she made that hard choice to do so. So even when they signed over the kids to us, we never considered that permanent. It was just not supposed to be permanent.
There's a lot of times people will give me credit on how well I'm dealing with the situation, but I don't deserve any of the credit. All the credit goes to God. Because if I did not have God in my life and the strength that he gives me, there's no way I could possibly get through this. I really feel for people that lose a special person in their life, whether it's a family member or a loved one or even a friend, and it's to a homicide, and how angry they must be. And for those that don't have God in their life, how empty that must make them feel to lose that person. But I have hope, and because I have God in my life, and because her life was taken from her unexpectedly, I really believe she's in the presence of the Lord, and it comforts me because I know I will see her again when I die. That's what gives me comfort. That's the advantage of having the Lord in your life. That's the advantage of belonging to the kingdom of God. Your loved ones you will see again. Now, if I wasn't a believer, if I didn't have Yeshua in my life as my Lord and Savior, I'd never see my daughter again. And that's a very, very sad feeling to think that. I really do hope, for the sake of Chelsey's girls and our family, and those that miss and love Chelsey very much, that the individuals responsible for her death are brought to justice. Maybe one day.
Bye.